Hi everyone, welcome to the Mental Health Warriors. I'm your host for this evening, Caroline Murphy Bennis, and welcome to the Christmas special of Words as Medicine. And on this show, we talk about the fine art of communication and the power of words to make us more contented and happy life. And tonight we have 5 other warriors all around to say Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yay! Merry Christmas! Yeah. More humbug.
Yeah.
There's always one, isn't there? There's always one that's got to drag down the mood.
And we're going to be back in a few minutes to talk all about gratitude is our word for this evening. So we'll see you back here in 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching and listening in. And I would like to say welcome all the warriors. Thanks so much for joining me for this Christmas special.
Pleasure.
We've got the UK. We've got 3 from the UK. We've got Dale from the US, and we've got Steve from Australia and myself from Ireland. So we're covering the globe, guys, aren't we?
It's the United Nations Warrior Special.
Yeah, that's it. I love it. Yeah, exactly. And so, guys, Cosmopolitan, exactly. Yeah, I like that. So I'd love to just kick it off, and I suppose I'd love to just start talking about, I suppose, what maybe you're all kind of grateful for in this year, 2021, that we might have kind of gone through a really difficult year. It's been extremely challenging globally in every country. Like, we're kind of united nations in that regard, that it's been really challenging. We're all dealing with the same challenge of COVID. It's hit everybody, and it's unified everybody as well, in that we all have ups and downs in our lives all the time during our life, but it's very rare that everybody across the globe is suffering from the same problems, restrictions and lockdowns, and and it's had a massive effect on mental health. And that's why we've all volunteered, to show up and try to support communities across the globe during this time. And we're all very, united in that, in our care and our compassion for people. And we really do feel it. We feel it in our hearts that we really, are just coming to you all with that empathy and compassion, and in any way that we can help. But I suppose during that, we also have to look at, what have we gained from this experience, and in the last year, things have kind of come to the forefront that, maybe at the start when COVID arrived, we thought it was going to be maybe a month or 2 or 3 months, it turned into, a year, and now we're into, we're heading into another year. And even though we have vaccines and things, it's still very challenging. But underneath that challenge, there's always new regrowth and things that can be very positive that come from challenging, difficult times. And particularly for myself, I found this platform fantastic outlet, I suppose, for creativity and connection. And I feel very grateful to have had the chance to be added into the team. And I would love to give a special thanks to Adam and give him a big hug. How can I go this way? Give him a big hug.
Yeah, I'm not working.
Big hug. To say thank you so much. And I didn't kiss. To say I really appreciate you asking me onto the team, because I feel it's given an outlet for the compassion that I feel, and I'm able to, I suppose feel like I'm doing something, and I really appreciate it, and I really respect you for what you're doing. I think you're amazing, going through a lot of personal adversity and difficult things, but keeping going through it, and it takes a lot of passion and commitment, and I'm very grateful personally for that. So that's my Chris Kindle to you, Adam. So I'll pass it over to somebody else might more like to say what their kind of Chris Kindle to somebody would be this year, if you have a special thanks to give somebody in your life, or something that's happened during the year that you'd really like to kind of say thanks for. Anyone? Steve?
Yeah, mine is dead easy. Like before I go into what I'm grateful for, a Chris Kringle, like there's two people watching this, Tessa and Valerie, that are part of a broader family that came together this year that, I've been very central to. And these people are the most amazing characters to have in your life. They're full of knowledge. They've got massive hearts. And to be able to have spent the majority of this year in their presence and to be able to give a little bit of me back to them, it's been so joyous and rewarding, and it's changed my whole year, which brings me back to being grateful for absolutely everything. There's so much that's happened in this space of the last couple of years, and I'm grateful for everything I've learned from these lockdowns and bad times, and how you can adapt and be resilient towards them. Like, everything's a blessing, even if it's in disguise. We are blessed with no matter what happens to us. And I just appreciate waking up every morning and getting to run amok and do it all over again. Not every day pans out perfectly, but that's great. I'm grateful for that too, because you've got to have challenge. You don't grow without challenges. So yeah, I'm a little happy Vegemite over here in Australia land, just loving life and just running with it. It's awesome.
Brilliant. That's wonderful. Thanks, Steve. How about you, Dale? What would you say that you're grateful for this year, and the opportunities this year has kind of brought up for you under extreme circumstances?
Well, actually, I kicked off a new business. I found a new friend of mine, which is an insurance business, financial education literacy business, and it's really given me like a whole new perspective on a career and everything, because basically for the last 46 years since I was diagnosed, I've been like struggling to like work and everything, and I'm doing odd jobs, and I was a tutor for about 5 years and stuff. But basically, this insurance company, this financial planning company, has given me like a whole new perspective, and it's I don't know what the situation with financial companies is in England, but it's like a completely different type of financial planning company, in that you can do it on your own time. And I'm just grateful for all the people that I've met through that. And I am grateful that I haven't got COVID yet, knock on wood. And I'm grateful to Adam and to you, Caroline, and to all the other mental health warriors who have given me the chance to come on and express myself. And I'm grateful just to the Lord for the Lord looking after me.
Oh, wonderful. That's amazing, Dale. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's loads of people. Adam, you're brilliant at the comments. I don't have my glasses on. we've got Valerie and Tessa and Graham.
We've got Graham, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's listening in and saying morning and giving us lots of lovely feedback and stuff. So thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We can feel you.
Yes.
Yeah, we can feel your presence. So, Kerry, how about you? What are you grateful for this year?
So much. Absolutely, so much. Despite everything that's going on in the world right now, much like Steve has said, I'm just so grateful for waking up every morning and having another day, another opportunity to do whatever mad things I decide that I want to do, and to be able to help other people. But I think most of all this year, one of the things that I really am so grateful for was being introduced to the Mental Health Warriors and being invited to come along and be a part of the Mental Health Warriors, and to help promote and do the great work that we as a collective do actually do. And obviously getting to meet you wonderful guys. It's been really great. I'm so grateful for that.
Amazing. Yeah, I think it's a wonderful collective, isn't it? Like community that we're building. Yeah, it's amazing.
Definitely.
Thanks so much, Kerry. It's been great. We've had loads of amazing chats.
We have.
We have, yeah. It's always kind of very interesting, deepen our understanding of ourselves every time we sit together. It's amazing. And Simon, how about you? What are you grateful for today, for this year?
Well,
out of everything that's happened.
I think I'm grateful. Certainly I'm grateful to Adam for giving me the chance to join the team and have my own show in the new year. I've watched the progress of Mental Health Warriors for a while. I've had the pleasure of being interviewed a couple of times by Adam, and I thought, well, we got joint interest there with the mental health world, and the opportunity to talk and have my own show, I think will be brilliant for me. I think that just looking at the year in general, I think the most thankful thing for me is that the fact that I've been a public speaker probably the best part of 30 years in different environments over the years and that, and I found my voice again, which I was struggling with for a while to get back to where I was, and I think I'm thankful for that. I'm able to get out now in the right spaces on mental health, speak on different forums and that. I found my niche in life, with my journey with mental health and that. It was always the case that what I had there, Plan for Man Cave Movement, was there in the background, and certainly over the time that we've had the COVID and the lockdowns and everything else, it started to grow, and it became something of a dream to a reality, which I think I'm very thankful for. And secondly to that, always very thankful to my family, because they're very good, they're very, very supportive. We are very close knit, and I'm fortunate that with the exception of my son, that everyone lives close by and we're able to stay in contact on a regular basis, and I love that.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. That's brilliant. Yeah, and the Man Cave movement sounds brilliant, and I hear that you're going to be maybe bringing women into that. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what we're going to call them yet. I'll probably, being the wise man of my age, and that I'll let them decide. But the thoughts that have come to mind will be either Man Cave Women, or the one I particularly like is Man Cave Sisters, because you come together as sisters with a common cause, common aims and objectives and issues and that. So that one quite clicks, but whether that will click with the women in our area, who knows?
Yeah, put it to them, maybe might be the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant. Great idea. And Adam, how about yourself?
Right. Well, I can't say I've been at this. I can't say I've been at this fight for 30 years, because that's the age I am. So I'm clearly the baby of the podcast here. maybe not feel it, but hey, right. I say I'm thankful for and grateful for the late Philip Cham, because he's the one actually who pushed the idea for me to actually start the Mental Health Warriors. And do I admit it was a success at first? No. No, I actually thought it was a big failure. But I'm glad I did not click delete because I wouldn't say we've built a community. I say we built a family here. That's how I brand the Mental Health Warriors, as family, dysfunctional family, shall I say, Steve?
Bastard! Sorry, something in my throat.
It's okay.
No.
It's after the watershed here.
Where's the gratitude?
No. The amount of chats I've had with you all, even people in the comments as well, and the other warriors, because I've always said you don't have to be a part of the team to be a warrior. You don't.
Elizabeth says, "Beautiful family, a beautiful family."
A beautiful dysfunctional family. That's how I'll say it. But yeah, we speak to Kerry, Caroline, even Steve daily, and I just love the chats. I really do. They actually really pump us up for the day, and that's what I'm grateful of, and that's what I've got to say. Thanks.
Oh, you're very welcome. But like, it's lovely, kind of, because you'd say, like, there's always ups and downs with everybody, isn't there, in their lives? You know what I mean? You're kind of going along and you're trying to push yourself and progress yourself, and then something happens and it's like, whoa, okay, I have to use all the tools that I've learned now to kind of pull myself back up. You know what I mean? You really have to walk your talk, like, don't you? You know, because then, especially when you're doing lives and you're putting yourself out on camera, and you're trying to kind of put your best out, and like, you still have to rally yourself, because I think people don't realize that, like, it's not that we don't have all the answers.
No. Well, I see all these interviews and being on here as my self-care anyway.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think that, and actually, they do say that once you found your purpose, and when you're actually when you're living your purpose type thing, that's what energizes you, and that's what actually makes you feel good, and you don't feel great if you're not doing it, so that's what's really nice, to get that chance to be able to put your talents and skills into service, because that's what we're kind of doing, isn't it? It's getting a chance to be able to serve, in whatever way, and then we kind of support each other as we go along, so it's brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's really great, Yeah. So, and I was thinking as well of like, sorry, Dale.
I was just going to say, I said at the beginning of the year that I wanted to reach 1,000 families with members affected by schizophrenia. Even I have no metric for this. I feel that, like, this platform and the podcasts that I've gone on and everything this year have really given me. I feel that I probably reached a lot more than 1,000 families. That's very fulfilling. And the other thing is, I fell in love.
Oh, wow.
Well, can I actually jump on that, Dale? I hope you don't mind me, Caroline, but
go ahead, no, work away.
Every few weeks, I receive an email of our statistics of how many people we're actually reaching a month. And I got it 3 days ago, and I didn't. The only person I told was just my Kerry upstairs. This month we've actually reached 53,000 people.
Wow!
Well,
that's amazing! Woohoo! And that was the anniversary.
53,000.
And the anniversary was during the week, wasn't it?
It was Wednesday, yes. Wednesday? 2 years on YouTube. 2 years on YouTube, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And Tessa says, congratulations, a beautiful family and community that you created, Adam and Kevin and Kerry Duval. There you go.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, and like, what kind of goals have you set yourselves, guys, for this year? Have you got any goals that you'd like to go forward with? Steve?
Oh, so many goals. Right. Next year is going to be phenomenal, I reckon. And I think, like all of us in our community here and where we're sort of headed, we know that we're on the right track and we're on the right path. And the more we get to do what we do, the stronger we grow and become, and the basis and that foundation just keeps getting stronger, so we can just keep building on it with much more solid consistency day by day. And yeah, I've got big goals. I want to be totally coaching for myself full time next year. I don't need to be working for other people. It's not where I belong. It's not my purpose. It's not my drive or my vision. So yeah, that's a massive goal. And I just want to keep showing up every day and being me. The people that resonate and get me are going to love it. The people that don't, I'm sorry, I can't change. I'm just going to keep rocking out. The version of Steve you see now is going to be the same version you see for years to come. And that's all I can do. Just be authentic and honest with everybody, and just help as many people as I can, and just keep living this dream.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, and you feel you found your purpose, that you found what you really love to do. Yeah,
100%. I know where I belong now, and I'm getting close to being there all the time, which is nice.
Yeah, amazing. That's amazing. It makes a big difference, doesn't it? When you feel you're you're doing what you came here to do, as to say in the Rainbow Warrior.
Yeah, you need that alignment.
Yeah. And Dale, are you? What goals do you have? Can you hear us?
Well, I just said that I fell in love, but it's been a total phone relationship since May of 2020, and so one of my primary goals is my insurance company is having a convention in San Diego in January, and Rose lives in San Diego County, so I'm hoping to go out to California for 5 days and kill two birds with one stone, and just meet Rose, attend. But my bigger plan is to integrate my insurance business with my schizophrenic family coach business, and be able to not only help people deal with their loved ones who have schizophrenia, but also to be able to give them financial advice so they can be able to deal financially and fiscally with the challenges that come with having a loved one with schizophrenia.
Amazing. God, I love that idea. That's a really brilliant idea, actually. And it's funny because actually there's a few people that I've been talking to about books, and they're interested in self-development and kind of I suppose being on their own purpose. But I actually the books have all been kind of practical guides and practical kind of workbooks. It's kind of, I feel like there's a shift coming in where people were looking for inspirational books before. They were looking for kind of novel type self-help books, and now it seems to be moving into kind of a stage where people are looking for the practical keys or the goal, to actually break it down into actually functional things, like you're saying, Dale, about that, how do I kind of get my finances and sort it out, or how do I align, say, especially what I see with Flourish by Design as well, that there's those people that want to have found their purpose as such, or they're just saplings in that and they haven't really established themselves in it yet, so they're looking for kind of guidance in lots of different areas. So it's a huge possibility then for people to kind of, I suppose, make more of what they know, and then also kind of for other smaller businesses to try and help that, with finance or with coaching or with design, whatever, that can kind of come in and support people who are trying to get off the ground, so it's great, underneath COVID and everything, the mental health problems and stuff, that just those little new possibilities are kind of happening. It's really, I find that really exciting, because it's a lovely support network. And I actually think there's actually a lot of strength in SMEs, people doing small rather than the big huge corporations, because it's also, there's more power to the people then, because if it's more individuals and smaller groups and they connect into communities, there's actually there's more change that can happen quicker, you know, because if not you have huge, big, massive corporations and they have all the control, you know, and then they make the decisions, and that affects, you know, humanity and, you know, society on a large scale that people don't have control over. So it's much more powerful when the individual becomes empowered, and then community supports that, and then when they change, it trickles around. It's much more healthy, and it's much better for mental health and for the environment, you know. So it's I love to see that. I'm really excited about that personally for myself. I'm excited to help anyone like that who's looking.
Can I add one more thing, Caroline?
Yeah, go ahead, Dale.
Speaking of books, I have a biography of my first grade psychotic break at Dartmouth College in 1905. I wrote a book about it, and it's being edited at this very moment, and hopefully it'll be out by like the end of January, beginning of February. So I'm going to really like transform people through that too.
Amazing. So you'll have a book launch. I'll have to bring you on to talk about that, Dale.
I plan on. Yeah.
Amazing.
So
fantastic.
And I think the title that I want to use for it is "Escape from the Ivy League: How Becoming God Changed My Life."
That's some title. Brilliant. Oh, I look forward to that, Dale. And Kerry, how about you? What are your goals? What's your what you call it, destination when it comes to the human GPS?
Oh, well, I think you already know one of my goals because we had a conversation about that a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
A book is definitely on the cards. Definitely on the cards for next year. Other goals? Just to continue sort of my own personal development and growth, you know, to be the best version of me that I possibly can be, in order to help as many people as I possibly can. Those are my big goals for the year.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, you did a great job. Like, you're definitely on track. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing more about this book. I think we started something the other day.
Definitely, yeah.
You'll have to have more conversations to see what will come. Every time we have a conversation, something new comes out. So
yeah,
brilliant. We're getting loads of. Tessa says, sounds amazing, Dale. I would love to have you have a chat next year as well. And Kerry says, as a group, we warriors see all the warriors mixing more next year. Yeah, I definitely would love that. I'd love more panels. I was talking to Adam about that today. What we, Adam?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the panels are great. You know, they really are. Mixing everyone.
Graham wants me and Kerry to make a book. Who knows?
Yeah. See what insights, you know, because I get flashes of the inspiration, you know, the way, and you never know when they're coming. I'll just send you a message and I get something. There might be, you never know what's on the cards for you.
Who knows?
And Simon, how about yourself? What are your...
I'll tell you what, I'm having a symbiotic moment, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah?
I'm going to write a book next year too.
Oh, really?
Being completely new to the family and the community, it was just ironic. Everyone's going around there. I'm thinking, yeah, well, I'm going to write a book too next year. So, yeah, that's going to be one of the goals. Secondly, it's going to be to target big business corporates to get their act together when it comes to mental health and actually do mental well-being rather than the mental first aid side where you're going and you're identifying somebody at risk and hopefully intervening and preventing them from going to mental illness and a mental illness diagnosis. I mean, the whole idea of what the product that we're bringing to market is it will keep people in their optimum shape, keep them performing at work, but also allow them to have the time to be present at home with their family, and and for me that's key. And that'll be one of my driving factors next year, to get Man Cave Movement out and doing as much work as it can in the local community. One of the exciting things coming forward, although the government never does put money with it, is they're looking at, rather than going straight away to antidepressants for somebody with mild depression, that type of thing, actually going more down the mindfulness, CBT, that kind of thing. And that's, I'll be looking to work with the local GP practices to start putting things in place there where we can help and support them. I think they're my main big goals for next year. And the thing I'm probably most looking forward to next year is my daughter's 21st birthday and her graduation next July. So I've got a real family thing there next year that's going to be good too. So.
Oh, amazing! That sounds fantastic. So I can't believe we've got 3 new authors. Next year? Book launches. Going to have celebration days for all these guys.
Well, you can add another one, Caroline, because I didn't even mention that earlier. I'm probably a quarter of the way through my powering out of the pandemic book.
Really?
There you go.
I'll do a small condensed ebook version that'll go out free to every single person on the planet that wants it, and then we'll have the full unabridged crazy version that'll be out by hopefully around Easter.
Wow, that's amazing. Brilliant. Wow. And I actually have a book on its way. Well, I've had the book a few years ago, so I'm just like, Caroline, you have to bring it out now. So I'm hoping to get it launched. Well, I have a few that are in my head that I have to write out, but hopefully this particular one is to come out next year, you know. Yeah. So that's fun. Now, Adam, what about a book for you?
Well, you know what? Before I answer that, Kerry Duval, if you're still watching, let's not be left out. Let's write a book as well.
Let's
do it. Let's do it.
We just have to.
We have to now.
You write it, and I'll help you publish it. Definitely.
I love the accountability.
Yeah, the amount of times we've been nagged about writing a book with what we've been up to, may as well. No time like the present. But back to the goals. Well, I've already succeeded in creating this beautiful platform.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the goals. And obviously another one was actually to help Kerry to overcome her anxiety of actually getting in front of a camera, which obviously she did. And 2022, well, if people thought this year was busy for us, you've heard nothing for next year. You've heard nothing yet, or seen nothing. Obviously, our son turns 10 days after Christmas Day, so no wonder I'm going bald. I'm going to be bald by 35. But yeah, we've just got a lot of things lined up. We really do. And with myself, I'm going to push more for this law of attraction because I've really taken a fancy to it.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, this law of attraction. And because I'm doing my level 3 mental health at the minute, once I've completed that, I'm going to be look into doing NLP.
Yeah. Keep training, definitely.
NLP.
We know somebody who's kind of could help you.
Well, Steve's an NLP trained as well.
Sorry, that way, yeah. Steve as well, of course, yeah.
Steve and Kerry, yeah, so they'll be able to guide you.
Yeah.
Of course.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cynthia says, congratulations in advance to all the new authors. Thanks, Cynthia. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Like, I think keep educating is really important, isn't it? Like, keep building your skills, keep learning, and finding, because the more you do, then you realize the stuff that you don't know, the things that you need to fill in the gaps, like, yeah. Exactly. So like that continuous education, like, and like that, in the education system at the moment, like, it's kind of, people don't don't tell you that really. Like you need to keep learning, and I think it's really good for mental health. Like, isn't it?
It
I
is.
find it. I think actually I was.
Yeah. Well, because our son's mental health was being affected anyway, because he was in mainstream primary school. Yeah, he's still at mainstream. He's still at primary level now, but we've pushed him to go into a special secondary school, and we're literally that close from getting him a place. Very close.
Yeah. And it's brilliant. Like I think he's really taken off as well. He's more challenged, isn't he?
He is.
In other way, and he's happier, is he?
Yeah. We're gonna have a look around it first week of January as well.
Yeah, amazing. That's fantastic. That he's getting that opportunity. Yeah, I found that as well when I went back to studying. I just it was like as if I was starving for it. Like I was just like I didn't realize I love being at home with the kids and everything, and it was brilliant. But it was like as if, I was like under challenged, And when I started studying again, I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing, And then I suppose as well, sometimes I think there was a lot of anxiety for mature students when you go back, because you think, I know there was loads of people my age because we were lecturers and people who came from industry to lecture, but they didn't have qualifications in teaching, so that was becoming something that university were trying to get in. But the nerves, and people were just we're absolutely terrified going back into education because thought they couldn't do it, but actually it turned out that I found I was much better at studying than I was when I was younger. For anybody who's interested in going back or might be worried about going back to study, I think life experience, I didn't understand how much my life experience had helped me with the studying. Actually, when I went back to it, I was much more able, I had learned so much, I think, over the years since I've been in school that I didn't really, So if anyone who's interested in going back next year and I might be older and worried about it, I would definitely say just go for it. You'll definitely be able to do it,
I think you're right there. I think it is very much about having had that life experience. And I also think you get to a point where you realise actually what it is that you do want and what you are interested in. So going back to doing that studying and having that education, I think being older, we are more sort of committed to those things. Once we know what they are, we are committed to it, and so it is a lot better the second time around. I think when we're at school, we're there because we have to be. We're not necessarily learning the things that we want to learn about. We're learning the things that we're told that we have to learn about. And I know that towards the end there were certain subjects that bored me stupid. I had no interest in them whatsoever.
Don't get me started.
Yes, restrain yourself, Adam.
I have to.
Yeah. But I think I do honestly agree with you there. It's definitely experience is a big part of it, and knowing what you're interested in, and being able to commit to that as well.
It's great because there's so many people that are wanting to go back and do courses now, and sometimes you can hold yourself back and you're kind of scared because you think you couldn't do it, but it's great to hear that because I know even when I was lecturing night students, evening students, they were so keen and they were amazing to teach because they were so absolutely keen to learn. It was amazing because even the younger students, they're just kind of sitting back and they're like, oh, might have been out the night before, didn't really want to be there, even in university. Even the mature students are like, they're right in going, I want to learn, really, dying to change jobs, change career and stuff like that, so brilliant, so I do think it helps with your mental health when you're doing something that you enjoy, I guess, again, isn't it?
Definitely. And I think that's a huge point, and both of you touched on. Go, Dale.
What I was going to say is I took five years off between university because of my mental health, my mental illness, and and so when I did go back, I found I was like the oldest guy basically in all my classes, but and but I learned how to I had to learn how to reintegrate and re-socialize because I'd been in such a like a claustrophobic mental health situation for so long, for 5 years, that I had to learn how to re-socialize. But as people always respected my intellect, so that made it easier. But I found that like being an older person in a university can have its advantages because a lot of the people, a lot of the younger students, who are coming straight out of high school or whatever, they're looking for mentors and they're looking for people to teach them. And I found I had one friend, a Vietnam vet, and he was sort of like my mentor, but I was like a mentor with him to a whole group of people, and it just like sort of grew, And uh, one thing that uh, that this is sort of off the subject of education, but I thought of it, and I thought it was very relevant talking about the family of the mental health warriors. Is if you change I to we, then mental illness becomes mental wellness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. It's so true.
Awesome.
Yeah. Love that. What were you going to say, Steve?
Oh, just how amazing a difference it is when we do decide to learn at an older age, and how much more willing you are and you're aligned to your learning. And I think that's where things change, isn't it? Like if you're constantly wanting to evolve and level up with things you're passionate about, it's not a chore. It's not like, I've said it before, being in a classroom and learning about the pyramids in Egypt. I'm like, what the hell is that giving me? I don't need to know that. It's not going to give me a more fruitful, prosperous life going forwards. I want to learn the stuff that's like better for my mental health, better for how I can deal with people. I want to always keep evolving. And I think that's the beauty of learning at a mature age, is how much more open you are to targeting exactly what you want to know. And that perseverance is key. I think if we keep wanting to stretch, I think that little bit of anxiety and fear around it is like amazing. I think we need that, because if it's all easy, you're probably not absorbing it properly. If there's that little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of, oh, can I? Then you're getting the most out of yourself, because it's just that little bit of stretch every single time, and you expand every single time, and things just become easier. The more you do them, the more you step out of that comfort zone, life just gets more enjoyable, because you're like, yeah, wow, that was a bit scary. Now I can do something that's a bit scarier again.
Yeah.
And just doing scary stuff, like not harmful scary, but intimate scary, and watch yourself grow like no tomorrow. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. It is so true, like, isn't it? Because, I find it as well, because there is a big fear of stepping back into education. But like when you started like that on that path of growth, you kind of nearly get, you just kind of, you're hungry to learn all the time. Because the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And then you're like, oh, I the way stuff that's out of your awareness, like, the way Adam, you were saying, I want to do NLP, I want to do this, I want to try that. And, and the more people and the more people that you meet and the more people you're around, and they might mention something you've never heard of. I'm always looking it up myself, like, what does that mean? I didn't know, like, I met Kerry, it's like, what is NLP? What's that? I've even heard of it.
Well, you was talking earlier about what COVID has actually taught us, and I've never answered that. What it's actually taught me is, all throughout the media and all through social media, they've been hearing the words and seeing the words social distance. Now, I've not once complied with that. Not once, because I have never felt so social connected with everyone. Now, if I never did that, never went onto this platform, I would not be connected with Australia, America. Who knows what will happen?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's amazing, isn't it? And even like I was saying, the time zones, like in my head now, I'm much more clear on time zones. Like, I feel, and I think the care, like, is, the way I was thinking to myself as well, when you're looking at the news and it's all just statistics about news and, this is happening in different countries and you don't feel connected because you don't really know anyone there, or you're not. And now I kind of go, if something's happening in Australia, I go, oh my God, geez, it's terrible, how the lads are, doing, and that feels like, it also has an effect on how people care about the world and the planet, because it's not just like thinking about my country and my little community. Start thinking globally when you have friends all around the world, like, don't you? Your care is different. Yeah, it's great. It's the global village.
Well,
I'll tell you.
in regards to what Steve said.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on. I've been talking too much anyway, so
okay.
Fair enough.
No, it's just going on the just following along around the subject of where we were, and I think Steve said it, and very much me. I mean, I'm now, I'll be 55 in January, so I'm in 5.5 decades I've been alive. But the point is, I've only now found my passion and what my true purpose in life is. I've done a lot of good. I've liked out a lot of people and that, but actually now with mental health, I've now found my true vocation, and I don't feel like I work a day or anything like that, because I'm truly passionate about what I want to do. And I thought I'd found it in the political world, but as it didn't work out. And at the end of the day, I did do a lot of good in the community through that role, but I find now, I mean, like this platform, as you say, where you got the connections there in America, Australia, Ireland, the UK, we've got the internet or social media has just brought everybody so closer together that we can sit here, we can have this panel, and it's an amazing dynamic. But it's like Caroline, I was listening there about the university. I mean, my daughter's the first person to go to university in my family. My two nieces on my wife's side of the family, one's just now been qualified and become a teacher. The other one's in their first year there. And it's all a new experience to me. But when I was at school, it was always a case of keep your head down, get the qualifications, get a job, work to your 65, which is now 66, 67, and get a pension, which is about a third of what you earn when you were working and expected to live on it. And I never ever, although I held down a job for 22 and a half years, I never really subscribed to that model, and I knew I was different. I didn't know how different I was, because it wasn't until I really discovered personal development that I realised I was in the 5% rather than 95%. And I've always been ambitious. I've always wanted to do good things. I've had big goals, and certainly over the last 10, 12 years, where I read on a regular basis, like Adam, I've been doing courses this year and mental health first aid, men's health champion, and training to be a facilitator in corporate mental health, and there will be other learning there next year. But I love it. I absolutely love going back to learning now.
Yeah.
Yet school, I couldn't wait to get out the door.
Yeah.
And
it kind of ignites a passion for learning, I think, doesn't it? When you find something you're really interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's amazing. And especially like that, where I suppose, like I was the first in my family to go to third level, and I suppose a lot of my cousins and my family followed suit after that. But you're always breaking new ground, like it's hard when you're trying to break new ground when your family hasn't done that and hasn't been, and you're trying to like, because a lot of fear again when you're doing something different like that, because they would have said, oh, what about getting a job, and when will you start making money, and they couldn't understand, like, you have to delay gratification, the way you have to delay, take you another couple of years after school to get into to get a job, and then they're not sure whether there's going to be work there for you once you come out of this qualification that they don't even understand, you know. So like it's each generation. It was funny because Lauren, my daughter now, she's doing transition year, and it was one of those funny moments. Like she was looking for work experience, and she said, oh, she was getting work experience in the company that I came back to Ireland in 1998 after emigrating out of Ireland to try and find work because there was no work at the time for what I did. And, she said, oh, I'm just going in and I'm going to get my work experience there. And I actually went into floods of tears. And I was like, oh my God. And it would just hit me because I thought of everything I had to do to walk into that door. Because I came from a little tiny village where nobody knew anything. Like there was a lot of poverty around me. People didn't understand quality of education. And for my dad used to say, education. Then I went and got educated. I decided to go to college. I went to college. I worked through college. Then I had to emigrate. I had to go all around the world. And then I had to go to Scotland. I got work there. And then I worked for nothing as an intern. And I worked there for years. And then eventually I was able to come back to Ireland when the Celtic Tiger kind of start rolling, and there was actually jobs in Ireland. And then I walked into that same office, but it had taken me so much work and struggle and strive. And then I just thought that what a generation can do is amazing. Like, that she could just pick up a phone and say, oh, can I go in there? And go, yeah, that's fine. Like, oh my God, I just really killed myself to do that. I just kind of, and then I thought to myself of all the generations that have done that each time, to do, like, even for me to be able to start on that journey, and it makes you feel like that's what you're just here for, like to just help the next generation on, like, it's amazing,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because obviously I've taught my kids that one day we're all going to die. We are that circle of life, but our stories never die, and our mission never dies. And I've said, once me and Kerry finally do pass away, the mental health warriors won't come with us because our kids are going to be taking over this as well.
Yeah. Amazing. And they're always watching, aren't they? Like everything that you do, everybody around you, whether it's your own children or it's just people, related to you or whatever, it's amazing. So the last question I'd like to ask you all is, what would you like to leave in 2021 that you don't want to bring as a part of yourself? What habits, what things do you want to leave behind? And, to kind of give you to bring a peaceful state of mind going forward, what will you let go of? Steve?
Oh, geez.
That's a tough one.
I've always loved this stuff. Like, I know if Tessa and Valerie are still around, I know we part of our rituals in our group was, what am I letting go of? And there's always so much that you need to leave behind to move forward. I always see these things as anchors that are sort of holding us in where we are and not letting us move forward. And I know for me personally, a lot of things that I need to let go of were always around judgments and thinking, if I do this, someone's going to think that. So that's a big thing I'm letting go of going into next year. I'm just going to keep rocking me, and I don't really care how it affects anyone else. If I can just keep doing what I want to do, then I know it's for the greater good regardless. Being in Melbourne, I really hope I can leave behind every possibility of another lockdown. I never want to see that again. I don't need to see day 300 of it or anything. I want that left behind because I think that'll help me keep growing as well. I don't need those hindrances. I need to be on the netball court with my girls as much as possible. I need to be a man of connection. So if I can leave all of those things behind that impede where I want to be, then 2022 is going to rock. It's going to be a pretty sensational year. Well, we already know it. We know it's going to be.
Yeah.
Next year is going to be the best year yet because every year is if we make it so.
Yeah.
Every year can just be better than the one before.
Yeah, it's amazing, because I think like when you grow from one year to the next, it's amazing, but you do have to, if you let something go, leave it behind you, that kind of gives you more space to grow again, you know. So it's important to let things go as well, you know, aspects of yourself. And Dale, how about yourself? Just going around the what would you like to leave
I think,
in 2021?
I think what I would really like to leave is my belief and my conviction and my limiting thought that I have to fight for everything and just surrender to the universe and let the universe like come and take care of me, and and I'll be I mentioned this yesterday, I think, but there's a to me, for me, through me, and with me. And I want to stop having the universe saying, I'm doing this to you, but because I want to work the universe and through the universe. And just one last thought about I had about Steve, what he said about getting scared and everything and doing more scary things. It's like I don't know who said this. I didn't say this, but grow against the edge of the comfort zone.
Sorry, what was that, Dale? I didn't hear the end of it.
No.
Growth begins at the end of the comfort zone.
Yes. Yeah.
Growth begins at the end of the.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you have to reach your edge, don't you? Yeah, you know that you're growing when you get really scared. Yeah, like you're saying,
You
with a
have
bit
to
of
feel
fear.
it all the time, and that's what. That's another thing I want to leave. I want to leave my comfort zone of 2021 and just always be testing myself in 2022.
Brilliant. That's excellent. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Love it,
brilliant.
Dale.
Well done, Dale. Yeah, excellent. And Kerry, what are you leaving behind you?
Yesterday.
Hey!
Yeah.
Ooh, good answer. Very good.
Is that when all your troubles felt so far away?
Well, I won't be leaving all of yesterday behind, because there are always important lessons to be learned every single day, and with every single experience, and those are the important things, I think, to carry forward with you. No, personally, I know that I've had occasions where I've used excuses rather than reasons for different things. So I'd like to leave those. I'd like to leave excuses behind.
Yes.
Definitely excuses behind.
Yeah.
And forgiveness, I think, is highly important as well, of others and of ourselves. Cut those emotional.
Yeah.
Get rid of that emotional baggage,
Yeah.
and leave that behind as well. Anything negative from this year. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. Forgive. Yeah, definitely. That's brilliant. Forgiveness is always a big one, isn't it? It takes a long time sometimes to forgive, but the more you do, the more you gain, like it really is the kind of alchemy, of, I think, moving forward is when you can really go into that deep forgiveness for, yourself and other people, because that gives you freedom. That's the gateway to freedom.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's just really hard, because you think like sometimes you're forgiving somebody else for them, but really you're not. You're freeing yourself when you forgive. Tough, but that's the only way. There's no other way.
Forgiveness naturally leads.
Sorry, Dave?
Forgiveness naturally. I said forgiveness naturally leads to gratitude too.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
You can't have forgiveness without gratitude.
Yeah, exactly. They're linked, aren't they? And Simon, how about yourself? What are you leaving behind?
I think I'm leaving behind my fear of being vulnerable, because I've learned, although I do at times have doubts like anybody else does, and that, I actually learned that my vulnerability, my my authenticity, etc. That's what makes me. And I've got in the family, and I've got friends that are quite quirky in different ways and that, and they're all great individuals in their own way, and we've all got that. And I'm just going to pick something up there that Steve said with judgment and one thing and another. Now, I've got a big sign written on my wall, which was told to me by a man that was very rich, very successful in business, and it says up there, "What other people think of me is not my business."
I love that one. Yeah.
And
that's brilliant.
That is going to be the mantra that I'm going to use going forward, because I've got that newfound confidence now, and that is something that I truly believe in. And I think the other thing that I'm possibly going to have to be a little bit harder on is not being so soft on my boundaries when I've got work commitments to do, although I work from home.
Yes.
Sometimes I do get taken advantage of, and family errands, etc. And that, all right, I've got an aging family, and yes, obviously I've got hospital appointments, something like that they need to get to. That's fine. I'm not got an issue with that. But sometimes it's first point of crisis. Oh, Simon's available. He's got a car. Pick the phone up, and the next thing I know is I'm out the door. I need to learn to say no more at times.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, that's one actually I have to work. Well, actually, I've got a lot better, but things have improved when I've, put the boundaries around when with work at home, because especially when you're working from home and you have kids and, you're trying to keep the structure and learning how to have more boundaries around that, especially when they're getting older, saying, no, I'm doing this now. I'm not available, not being available for things, because it's hard to do that when you've been always available. It's hard to say, no, I'm sorry, just say no actually is one for me, I think, learning how to say no and being better about boundaries like that, because saying that, no, this is important to me and it's fine, and being okay with it, because it's after taking me a while to get used to that, because I felt really guilty at the start, and now I'm like, no, this is the way it should be, and then they're learning, the kids are learning then that, how they're learning how to create boundaries, because if you're not teaching by example, they don't learn how to make boundaries, then they won't be able to make boundaries in their life if they haven't seen me making boundaries, so like I have to try and realize that as well, because I'm so weak. I was weak on boundaries, like, so now it's like trying to get better at that, and then I'm thinking, as I'm teaching them, if not, they won't know anything about boundaries, and it'll be a big issue for them, so you have to do by example. So that's me. How about you, Adam?
Oh, where do I start? Do I leave the banter with Steve behind? No, not really. No, that has to come with me. I'd say I'd leave the breakdowns I've had experienced this year, because I know I've had a few, and I think if I have less breakdowns, I think I'll be more positive. I really do.
And what do you think can help that? What can help you balance things? Because you're very busy with all this,
I think taking more time to actually say, Kerry, go away, kids, go away, warriors, go away, and actually just stop and say to myself, and have communication with myself. Yeah. Self-love. That's what's critical these days.
Yeah. Keeping time in your morning, or just part every day maybe might help better, because there's a lot, especially when you're online so much and then you're dealing with so many different people all the time. It's a drain, and family and everything like that. So I think for you personally, it'd be really important to kind of keep that, have downtime next year, integrate it into your day,
Yeah, well, well, second week of March, we're going on holiday anyway, so there's your break.
Excellent. Brilliant.
So no worries for me and Kerry. No worries.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep it going, won't we, guys? Well, guys, actually, that's it. Our hour is up now, would you believe? You're fine. Bye. Thanks, everybody, for coming on, and It's been a great show. Loads of comments, amazing. I've called out a good few of them, but we'll go back in and comment afterwards as well. So would you like to leave everyone for? I'll say this is the end of the last show for Words to Medicine for this year. And hopefully next year, we'll have more panel discussions and go into, topics in more detail and, try to kind of maximize what we've learned this year, and even getting used to StreamYard and technology and everything has been a learning curve, hasn't it? Yeah, and we got our branding up and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what we can do next year, push it on again, But thanks very much, everyone. And would you like to leave anyone with a little last, something for a bit of advice or anything or message to go into next year for anyone listening? Anything that you've learned?
Yeah, I think the secret for everyone is to be them, be themselves.
Yeah.
Just be them. Be yourself. Is that what you're saying?
What I would be yourself. What I was going to say is, it's a season of love, the Advent season of love, where we welcome the birth of our Lord. But that season goes throughout the year. So just love every day and be yourself every day.
Brilliant. Yeah. It's gorgeous. Lovely.
It's absolutely crucial. Don't be anyone else because you're not. Own yourself. Do what lights you up. Don't hold back on things. If you want to do something, go for it. Life's too short to sit in the corner and hope something's coming your way. You got to grab it and give it a shake now and then and just run amok being you, because you're bloody amazing. Every single person watching this, every person that's watched every show this year, you have everything you need inside you and you are absolutely awesome people. So do what you want to do, be what you want to be, and go for it. Next year's your year. If you take it, take every opportunity that comes your way, you're going to have the best life you've ever had. And I believe in every single person that they've got that inside. So let's have a massive year, everybody.
Woo!
Love that.
Love it.
If I had to say it, I'd start swearing, and I don't really want to.
I'm pumped up after that. Definitely. Could we have you on every morning with all that kind of talk, Steve? Please, we need your morning program.
Yeah, I'll do a little 1 minute video every morning. Video.
Yeah, you've been brilliant, amazing. I need that every morning to wake me up. How about you, Kerry? Any advice for people?
What Steve said.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, definitely. Just be you, believe in you, because we all have absolutely what it takes. We've just got to look a little bit deeper inside to find it, and if we do that, we will find it. We can find it. It's there, and then just run with it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And just grab life by the horns.
By the what? The horns. Okay.
Yeah, and shake it. You got to shake life around a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Brilliant. Simon, how about you? Thanks, Gary.
Well, I mean, thinking about it, I would say keep talking, and if you haven't learned to talk, start talking, because for me, the best therapy you can get is to start talking about your struggles and your mental health. And once you do that, you open that conversation up, people see it in a totally different light.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's brilliant, because it diffuses it, doesn't it? Like, it makes it normal and normalizes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, amazing. It's just, fantastic. And then inspires other people, It's a knock-on effect. How about you, Adam? What advice are you going to give people?
I cannot repeat as much as everyone has said. It is just be you. And if you're saying you're struggling, and that's okay. If you're saying you're alone, I'm sorry, but you're not looking deep enough, because no one's ever alone. And if people can't accept you for the way you are, tell them, see you later, son. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think so as well. Surround yourself with people that are going to light you up, that support you, that love you, and that care about you. Like it's really, really important for your mental health to have people around you that are, life affirming, and have your corner, have your back. So
it's about finding your tribe, isn't it?
I found mine.
It makes a huge difference. It does, definitely. So well, thanks everybody so much, and I will celebrate 2021, say goodbye to it. Woohoo!
Not for me. I'm back
not
on
for you, not for you, but for the mental health warriors and for myself. And be back in the new year with lots of new ideas and inspiration, and we'll be constantly inspired all year long. I'm sure we don't know what's ahead of us yet, but there's lots of new books coming. There's lots of new shows coming. There's lots of new. Definitely, Steve's going to be doing some, I think, breakfast mornings. Yeah, and we'll see what comes of it. Yeah, we'll keep being inspiring each other, and I'll definitely. Maybe I'll start a book launch show or something like that for all these authors.
I think you've got more Zoom sessions, Kara.
Yeah.
Definitely, so really looking forward to it. I'm really grateful for you all. Finish with gratitude. Thank you all so much. Really love your company, love the connections that we've had over the last couple of months. Love meeting every one of you and getting to know you more and more, and the friendships as time goes on, and the friendships deepen. I get to know you, and the support and the love goes each way, which is lovely. And I look forward to more of that next year. So I wish you a very Merry Christmas, and thanks for everybody who's been watching us and listening to us, and I hope it's been of value to you all. And we're all here for you over the Christmas, and if anybody's looking for us or need any guidance or help in any area, everybody's really open to reaching out and giving you that support that you might need. So thanks very much for listening. All the time zones, our global village. We'll say goodnight to you all and take care. Thanks everybody. Thanks warriors.
Bye.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Yeah, you too.
Peaceful New Year. Bye.